up? It's JQ.
Hola, it's Dali.
Dali con pique.
Dali con pique. Oh, that's right. I'm using that. Dali con pique.
JQ. This is our episode, Adulting versus Us. So, Dali, what does adulting mean to you? What does it mean to be an adult?
Oh, man. I don't know. Adulting throughout my adult life so far has changed a lot to me, because when I first started feeling like an adult, I was probably like 18, fresh out of high school. I was like, yeah, this is where my life begins, college.
And that's what most people say. When you're 18, you turn an adult.
Right. And
so untrue.
For us Hispanics, though, when we turn 15, you become a woman.
Right.
You're quinceañera. Like, and I did not feel like a woman.
Nowhere near a woman.
I was like, I don't even know what the fuck this is.
Right.
Like, okay, you're putting this tiara on me.
And you're giving me what? You're taking away
the
my
shoes,
doll.
Right. Giving me like putting heels on me. Like, I'm not even comfortable. But
I'm 15.
And then you turn 18 and you're like, okay, I have to have college figured out. And I did not have college figured out. Mm-hmm. And then, for me at least, it made me feel a little guilty in a way, because I didn't have college figured out. I didn't have my life figured out. And it made me feel bad because I had the expectation of me being the first person to graduate college in the family.
Right.
No one has graduated from the family.
So it's like, look, it's all up to you,
Dali. Like, do it. You're
Dali.
Smart. Blah, blah. And I just wanted to be like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to do. So I think when I graduated high school, I thought I was an adult. I thought I had it put together. I enrolled in college. I was doing these BS classes and whatever. And then I was going out a lot. And I was going to the club. And I was going to the teen clubs and doing all this, like the 18 up clubs. And I was drinking Four Locos and getting blackout drunk. And I'm like, yeah, I'm a fucking adult.
Right.
It wasn't anything like that. I had no clue. I was still living at my mom's house, still not paying rent, still not doing anything, but I thought I was an adult.
Yeah.
Then fast forward to when I'm like 22, and then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm going to move out. And even then, it's like people were telling me being an adult, but right out of high school, you're told to be an adult and go to whatever. It doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, so I went out and I actually did it. I actually loved it. I loved being on my own. I loved doing my own thing. I loved having roommates. I loved not having to depend on my parents for anything. And then after that, I moved in by myself. I got my own townhome by myself, lived on my own. And that was kind of pretty difficult. It was more difficult than having two roommates, of course. But even then, I still loved it. I never thought about I need to go back into my mom's house or my dad's house to like try to help them support me. I want my own shit. Mm-hmm. Now I'm to a point where it's a different level of adulting.
Right.
And I want to buy my own house. I don't want to rent. I want to go to that next level, but it's so hard. It's so hard to find your own place. It's so hard to be able to qualify. And for me specifically, I'm a server. I'm a waitress. So I work for tips. So when you're trying to buy a house and you're based off of tips, it doesn't show really how much you're really making
in reality.
So you're only getting approved for such a low amount versus what you can actually afford.
Yes.
So it's been really hard on me. Now I had to be not forced, but the easiest thing to do was to move back into my mom's house, which kind of felt like a step back. Like I'm taking 10 steps back, moving into my mom's house and being here until I can find a house to buy, until I can take that next step forward. So like the adulting in my sense has changed so much, because at 18, I thought I needed to know, I thought I knew the steps I needed to take to be an adult, and I thought I was ready to take them. And now I'm so like, I'm just winging it. Right. I'm doing the best that I can.
Girl, I had a car at 18 and I thought it was big shit. At 18, just because I had a car.
Right.
I drive everywhere. And then I had a Honda, so you know, $10 filled up my tank.
Right.
So I'm up here like,
and you're like, yeah, this is easy.
Right.
I'm an adult any day.
Till I realized I had to fix the car. Mm-hmm. Till I realized I had to do other things, you know, to take care of my stuff.
I feel like there's different levels to it. When you say what is an adult, being mean to you right now, what it means to me is to just be okay in the space that you are now. Know that you're doing the best that you can. Be in no competition with anybody else, because right now I'm 27 and it's so easy to say, oh my God, I see all my other 27-year-old friends. They have college degrees, they have houses, they have this. But then I see the other part of my friends that are like, you know,
right.
There's no level as to how you should adult or how doing it. Right.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't compare yourself. You are on your own.
You are your own person.
Right. And you are on your own pace of life. Yes. You are on the right track that you need to be. Don't compare yourself to anybody. It's so important to remind yourself of that, because
things will happen in your life when it's meant to be. Right.
And it's important. Like, now I feel like anxiety is such a thing. Like, you're seeing 30. You're about to hit 30. What do you have to show for it? Right. What do you have to prove for it? This is that. And it gives me anxiety, because I'm like, I'm not where I thought I would be when I was going to see 30. I'm not where I thought I would be, and it's okay.
I think that's the same for me, yeah.
Right. And definitely. Not a lot of people tell you that it's okay to not have it figured out, and it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay.
Pretty much they bitch at you because you don't have it figured out.
Right, and that adds a lot of pressure. It adds a lot of pressure, for sure.
Nothing... It's not not that it's not a motivational thing to get up and go do your shit, but it's more of like a nagging, and it's like, okay, I don't want to listen to this, you know, like, you know, this isn't motivating me to want to do something else or try something new. You know, this is just you telling me what I'm doing wrong. So
I feel that. So real, and it's so important to understand too that criticism that they are feeling toward you is coming from a place of themselves. Like, it's coming from where they feel they need to be. Right. It's not coming from they're not, it feels like they're criticizing you in your life, but it's really coming from themselves. And does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, sort of.
Because I don't feel like I'm making much sense. But when people say, like, oh, you're about to hit 30, you should have your degree. Right. You should have kids. You should be married. Yeah. That's the idea that they have within themselves. Right. Or what they feel like they should be doing. Or what they have been conditioned to think. Right. Everyone is on a different pace of thinking, of everything. Of life, of everything. Period, And I feel like that's important to know too, and nobody really tells you that that's important to know, because no one should ever be in competition with anybody else. Everyone is on their own pace of life. Right. It's not fair for you to tell me I should be married with kids and have a degree, because that's your idea of living. That's
or being an adult.
Right. That's your idea of adulting. My idea of adulting is getting to a space where I'm mentally okay with everything in my life. I'm mentally accepting of everything in my life. I can have a good life for me and my dog. Yeah. You know, that's adulting to me. So it's not fair to say one is better than the other. Right. And I think that's important.
It's not really any comparing. You say, you know, most people say you're an adult after you turn 18. But then, like you said, there's so many different levels to being an adult, because you're not going to be the same adult you are at 22 than you are at 30. It's going to be a whole different view on things. Exactly. I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like you're somewhat of an adult when you decide to make you decide to make better decisions based on things you've learned or things you've seen, or just gaining wisdom throughout life, you know? I think that having humility is a really big thing in being mature and being an adult. You gotta have humility. You gotta know when to say you're wrong. Admit it, apologize for it, whatever. I feel like openness is also...
I read a thing today that says it's like very childish to say, this is just the way that I am, you're gonna have to deal with it. I think a part of being an adult is realizing that you have toxic traits within yourself, and you have things you need to fix within yourselves. Within yourself, like you saying, this is just the way that I am, you're gonna have to deal with it.
That's you just accepting it and not wanting to change.
Exactly. It's childish.
Yeah, and 100%.
It's not a sign of growth.
Yeah,
which is what.
That's what I was always gonna say. Being a bigger person,
right,
is also something as an can't talk. As an adult, that you want to be able, you know what I'm saying? You want to be able to do that. So a lot of people cannot do that. They cannot be the bigger person and let things go. And also, what's really important to me when you're an adult, when you figure out your needs are more important than your wants. Because you see a lot of these young kids splurging money on bullshit, on materialistic shit that wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that can't go with you beyond the grave. You don't want to be, like, I always keep that saying, what is it? You don't want to be remembered for what you did, but how you made someone feel. Or what you bought. You know what I'm saying? I feel like materialistic stuff, I feel as an adult, I don't know.
That, like you can't take those things with you when you die.
So you need to create experiences, create memories, whether it be, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing that comes with adulting too. You want to create stuff for your life. You want to have something to show for your life. So instead of like, I feel like dwelling on it and getting bitch about it doesn't help the situation. You figure out where you go from here. You figure out what you want to do. You set your goals for yourself. You could just, you know what I'm saying? You might not have any goals in mind, but you come up with some. Let me make sure I do this every day. Or let me make sure by the end of next year I have this accomplished. Or, you know what I'm saying? Set futuristic goals, short-term goals, things you want to do for yourself. I mean, we were even talking about that, how, like, there's a lot of stuff you can do for cheap. For really cheap. You know, money is a issue for a lot of people, too, when you're adult and you got bills. Right. Especially adulting in your 20s. You're broke. For sure. You're broke and if you went to college and you have debt, forget about it. Right. So, it's like, true. And that's like, you know what I'm saying? And that's probably one of the things that makes you in debt. There's so much shit that you can be in debt with, forget it. Like, at this point, I feel like I'm up the ass with debt. And I'm only 27. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it becomes stressful. It really does. It becomes stressful. Because it affects everything you do in life. And they set it up that way. And it's insane. Like, I understand, you know, that you have to have a certain amount of credit or whatever to do good things. But what about the people who are trying to better themselves and get there? Right. Do we just X them out of, you know what I'm saying, of chances to get whatever? Like, it's a mess to me. That's a whole other conversation though. But I feel like that's why it's so important to talk about people. A lot of the times I find that people rather not talk about their problems because they want to be so secretive and private, and they don't want to talk about their problems. They think it's gonna... But people don't want to be judged either. Yeah, I agree. People don't want to be judged. People don't want to seem like they don't have their life put together, when in reality, none of us have it put together. You could be, I feel you could be a millionaire, a billionaire, and there will still be problems in your life if you don't address them. And I feel like a good way of addressing them is to talk with one another. Talk with people so you can relate to everyone's problems, and you can relate, and you don't feel so alone. Right. And I feel like with us, we're 27. We have, for me, I feel like it's easy for me to become alone in my problems. I don't feel like people can relate to my problems so much, so I have to keep internally deal with it. Right, internally take it and deal with it and figure it out on my own. When in reality, there's a lot of people like me dealing with the same shit. And it's important to know that. And I think that's another level of adulting. When I was 18, that's something I was never even thinking about. Right. Versus now I'm 27 and I'm like, always in my head, always like, are other people thinking? Like, there's different levels of adulting. It's crazy how subconsciously we do it too, though. We're like, okay, like... This is a stupid example, but like if you fart in the store and it's a loud fart and you look around like, oh my god, they didn't even hear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. I feel like it's like that with everything. Like, oh my god, did someone hear my secret? Oh my god, did they hear me? You know, like not often by the time. By the way, that's too funny. Fart anyway. Oh my god. Fun fact about and run away. It wasn't me. It's me. No humility. No shame. And that's another thing too about adulting. Like, for me, I've grown and I just don't give a fuck about certain things. I give a fuck about a lot of things, but certain things I'm like, I don't have the time. Right. I don't have the time to care about if you think I farted in the store or not. Right. I don't fucking care. There's so many other things on my mind. Get
because I have to pay my phone bill by today, and I don't have the money. I don't care if you smell my fart for 2 seconds. Fuck you. But it's true, like, and that's why we started this podcast. Because it's so important. Every day I'm wondering if I'm getting toward whatever goal I think I need to be getting to. Am I adulting?
I feel like all you can do is try. It's better to try and fail than to be defeated not even trying. You know what I'm saying? And like, how are you gonna know what the outcome is gonna be if you don't ever try? So it's like, you know, that's how it is with adulthood. You just have to try. You have to try the best you can and hope for the best outcome.
It's a lot of trial and error. It's a lot of just winging it. Just taking on the day.
Yes. All
It
the
really
time.
is. And whether your lives are completely different from others around you, like me and Jackie, we're completely different adults
Yes.
when it comes to adulting.
But the thing is with our relationship, me and Dolly have a very good relationship. Ever since we've known each other for a really long time. But I feel like it takes really good friends to agree to disagree with certain things and to have open mind about everything when it comes to each other. You know what I'm saying? So like, I may not agree with something that she says, but I hear her out and her point of view with it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's what it comes with. That's what it comes to when you're an adult. Yeah,
and come to an understanding. And to realize, going back to what I was saying earlier, that maybe sometimes your opinion about something or your mindset about something wasn't probably the right mindset, or like the mindset that you originally wanted. Yeah.
Right. Of course.
And hearing other people out and being like, okay, yeah, you know, you're right. I needed to hear that. I needed to get that perspective of something.
For sure. On a side note, our adulting tip for the episode, our Adulting 101 tip is to not feel defeated when all goes wrong. You are not a failure. Remember that. Not alone.
Yes.
Adulting is trial and error, as Dolly said earlier.
Yes.
It is not perfect. It is not easy. But just know you are not alone in this.
Yes. And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to not have it figured out, because none of us really do.
We're all going with the flow.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Yes. Right now I'm in a situation where I feel like I took 10 steps back instead of taking 10 steps forward. And that's okay. Sometimes you need the 10 steps back to gain a bigger perspective as to what's to come for the 10 steps forward.
Yes.
So it's okay to not be okay.
It is. And it's okay to cry every once in a while. Let it out.
I agree. I feel like it's okay to cry anytime you feel like it's okay to cry.
Yes.
Just cry. Sure. Sometimes you need... I'm
a crybaby. I cry about the stupidest shit.
Me too.
So I'm all for crying.
But I'm weird. I cry about stupid shit, but either when I'm alone or when I'm really comfortable to cry. When I'm in a situation where I'm like, I feel too awkward, I want to cry, but like I'm going to tell them I have to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And then I'm going to go cry in the bathroom. And that's okay too. Do what you need to do to get through. Real. Oh, that's a good one.
Do what you need to do to get through.
I like that.
We're going to start using that quote.
Yeah. But yeah, it's good. And I'm very big on energy. So when you feel like you need to release that energy in whatever way is good for you and a safe way to release the energy, release it.
Yes. Me in the background. Yes. Agreeing with everything you're saying.
It's true though, like, just do what you need to do.
As an adult, it's good to try to figure out who you are as a person. So you know from there where to go and what you need to do in life and what you need to figure out for yourself, you know?
So when did you think you really figured out who you were as a person? Or have you yet?
Honestly, no. I feel like, I had a baby a few years ago. My son is almost 4. So in that time, I was figuring out myself. And I had a baby. And not that I don't continue to figure out myself right now. You know, I'm continuing to learn more about myself even as a mom. And I know I'm different than I would have been if, you know, I didn't have a kid. So, like, as an adult, I don't know. I feel that I'm not where I want to be. No. I'm not in a place where I feel like I know myself 100%. I feel there's still things I'm learning about myself, especially with a kid. I'm still trying to change things, you know, since I'm an example now. So it's really hard, especially when you have kids, you know, try to figure out who you are, what you want to do in life. You know, I don't have everything figured out, and I'm a mom, you know, so like trial and error, baby, trial and error. That's all it is. Like, all I can do is try, fail, try again, get up every single time, you know, because I have someone looking up to me. Not even just that. I owe that to myself. Why wouldn't I put my best out there, my best effort out there for myself? Just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And some people don't.
It's true.
That's the thing. You have to love yourself enough to do that. That's also what being an adult means, I feel like.
It's true.
So.
It's true. And no one teaches you. I mean.
No one really teaches you. They can teach you how to, you know, fill out a checkbook. They can teach you how to.
Or they can even teach you adulting from their perspective. But like we were saying earlier, adulting is different. Yeah,
it's different for everyone. Everyone has different things they're going through. You know, I know a handful of people who have graduated from college and are doing nothing with their degrees. They're working in different places, you know?
There was a few people for a while at our job that were like graduated, got degrees from college, and they were.
And not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
You do what you need to do.
And it's all trial and error, like we were saying. But like these people, like, they have to pay off their loans.
Yeah.
Which is reality.
But that's what they say. Like, being an adult, you go to school right after high school. That's what it's supposed to be. You go to school after high school. You know, you graduate college. They make it seem like this big thing, but they forget to tell you, oh, by the way, you're going to be in thousands of debt. You know, thousands of dollars in debt.
Oh, yeah. But so God forbid they give you a business loan.
Right.
They won't give you a $20,000 business loan to start up your own business, but they'll let you go into $60,000 in debt.
For school.
So that's for another episode, because that's just some bullshit.
Right. That's a big ass convo.
Yeah. But anyway, so like,
be an adult, just make your own path. Do what you need to do for yourself. Be positive. Don't keep negative vibes around you. Don't let anyone bring you down.
And I feel like a lot of our future episodes are
about a lot of what we're talking about right
now.
now.
Y'all are gonna learn that I really don't know how to speak.
We both can't talk.
But a lot of our future episodes are going to be about all these things, like debt. What were we talking about?
Not be judgmental towards other people.
Right.
And
mental illness, the things that come along with growing up.
All these things with adulting that they don't talk to you about.
Right, and things that add up. Eventually, you're going to become 30. We're going to be 30, and we're going to see all this baggage that we're bringing with us from our past that we should probably deal with.
Yes.
And I personally think therapy is a great thing. I'm not seeing a therapist. I personally think going to a therapist is a great thing, because they don't teach you how to deal with everything that's going to happen, because nobody is equipped to know exactly what's going to happen to you, what traumas are going to hit you, what things are going to affect you differently.
And that's true. I've never looked at it from that point of view, because I heard a saying that your therapist sees a therapist too.
Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
And it's like, man, how am I gonna have someone telling me what to do in the fuck of my life when they're going to see a therapist too?
but it's so true.
No, it is.
And it's always good to get an outside perspective. When you talk about your like when me and you, we talk about our problems with each other.
It's a stress reliever.
But it is. But I'm going to see it from a different light, because I know you. It's going to be biased. It's going to be biased no matter what.
Right.
Because I know.
But if you talk to someone who you don't even know.
Right. Somebody that doesn't know the situation. Somebody that it's the same when we were looking up at starting a podcast. They're saying, okay, get feedback from non-family members, non-friends, somebody that you don't know, because they're the ones that are going to be the realist with you.
Right.
They're not going to sugarcoat anything. Sure. And it's so true. Like, as real as I am with you, I'm still going to sugarcoat some stuff with you.
Right.
Because I love you. Because you're my best friend.
Right, of course.
A therapist is just going to be like, this is black and white.
Right.
This is what I'm seeing.
What?
These are the toxic traits that I'm getting. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be real with you.
Yeah.
And right now, personally, I can't see a therapist because I can't afford it.
Right.
But I would love
some shit.
Right. Therapy should definitely be in your Medicaid or some shit, or like your
future goals. These are future goals for us being adults.
Right. This is going on my vision board. I'm calling it out right now. Therapy. I need
goals.
it. I know I need it. I know I need it because.
Who doesn't need it, girl?
Who doesn't need a life coach? Who doesn't need somebody to tell you that everything is going to be okay? That's the same thing as saying that you need a motherly figure or fatherly figure in your life. You need that.
It's true.
It's so true. Like, you need somebody to say everything is going to be okay, and you don't need to hear it sometimes from people that know you and people that get you. Like, all right, yeah, you're just saying that to say it.
Right.
You need to hear that sometimes. I get it. And I will pay when I can.
Right.
When I can afford to pay somebody $100 to tell me that I'm not crazy and that this is just normal and I don't have to worry.
Right.
I'll pay it because this is for another episode. I'm dragging it. But
it'll be worth our money in the future.
Yeah.
When we have that money too.
Yeah. This is for a whole other episode. This is like our mental awareness, a mental health episode.
Therapist
but
goals.
This is what we're trying to bring to our show. We're trying to bring this awareness and trying to bring this comfort, I guess, to everyone to say that it's okay to not know if you're adulting, not know if you're getting it right, not know whatever age you are. You can be 18, just graduating high school. You could be 65, going into retirement, not knowing if what you did was the right move. Because none of us do. We're always going to have that thing in our head, like, what if? What if we would have done it this way? I think it's always in your head,
what if?
Right. What if I did this? Would I be adulting right?
But don't think,
Am I adulting now?
I feel like you shouldn't think of what if. You should think of what's going on now.
Exactly.
What am I doing now to change whatever I want to change and to not perfect, but make things the best way that I can for myself. Period, you know? Mm-hmm. You want to think about things like that. I think it's very important to have goals, man. Set those goals for yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
Be open. Have humility. Mm-hmm. All of the above.
And tune in so you can hear that you guys are not alone. We're doing the same shit. We don't know either. We just decided to talk about it on a podcast and make ourselves vulnerable into the conversation.
Take our advice. We'll be your therapist today.
Yes. Free. Don't
Tune into us next time. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right. Thank you guys so much.
Peace.
Bye.